Welcome to Carlton's Math Corner. Today we're going to continue our study on arithmetic sequences. At this time, please make sure that you have your math journal, your vocab packet, as well as something to write with. Our target today is I can use the equation for an arithmetic sequence to determine a term. Well, in the past couple videos, we talked about how arithmetic sequences are sequences that have a common difference between the terms. And today, we are going to be looking at a formula that helps us figure out what the value of, well, any term is in that sequence. And so this is our formula. And so we have a sub n equals a sub 1 plus, in parentheses, n minus 1 times d. Now let's talk about what do all these mean? Okay, well, a sub n. Well, this is basically what the answer will be for whatever term, okay? And so the term that we're looking for. So n right here would be the term that we're looking for. So if we're looking for the 10th term, then we would put a 10 in where this n says, or wherever we see the n. And so do you see an n here and you see an n here? In both of those locations, we would put whatever number of term that we're looking for. A sub 1 basically means the first term in a sequence. So whatever the first number is in that sequence, that's what we're going to plug in for a sub 1. Then plus always stays the same, parentheses stays the same, minus 1 stays the same, and then the d stands for the common difference. What is the common difference between each term of that sequence? Okay, so let's look at our an example. So here's our sequence: -12, -8, -4, and 0. And our job is to find the 9th term. And so I want you to notice the steps that are happening. What's the first step? Well, the first step I notice is we're plugging in the numbers that we know. So -12 was plugged in because that's our first term. And that always goes where we see a sub 1. And so -12 went in for that. 9 went in for the n because we're looking for the 9th term. And so we put a 9 in there. -1 stayed the same, addition stayed the same, parentheses stayed the same, and then 4 was plugged in because if you look over here, we found the common difference. We started with the second term minus the first term. We got +4. Third term minus the second term, +4. Fourth term minus the third term, +4. So our common difference was 4. Okay, so the 4 was plugged in. Notice the a sub n did not change because that is actually the answer we're looking for. We could put a 9 in for this sub n part, but that's just our label. It's just telling us that we're looking for the 9th term and we're trying to find it, okay? And so notice our next step is, it looks like we are evaluating this expression and we're using order of operations. The first step that I notice is we're working with parentheses, or we're doing the grouping symbols. So remember GEMDAS, G stands for grouping symbols, so 9 minus 1 is 8. Then the next step is multiplication. 8 times 4. Remember, any number next to parentheses means multiplication. So 8 times 4 is 32. And then we have our last step, which is addition. And -12 plus 32 is 20. So our 9th term is 20. So the steps that we did is we found a common difference. Then we used the formula to find the missing term. Okay, so this formula is something that you really do need to memorize. It needs to be you need to know what each of the parts of the formula means, you need to know what a sub 1 is, or what n represents, or what d represents. Okay, and so make sure that you write down this formula and you memorize it and you know how to use it. Okay, I want you to try these two problems. I want you to find the 15th term and the 10th term in the sequence. Thank you so much for joining me at Carlton's Math Corner, and I look forward to meeting with you again.